everyone. This will partially be a test as well, to see if my computer can handle streaming and recording at the same time. I was messing with the microphone to see if I could change it so that you can't hear the clicks and clacks from the controller, but I don't know if there's any way to stop that at this point. Anywho. Alright, so at the end of last time I acquired Emma's Medicine Potency, so my healing item should heal me a little bit more. I think it's time to fight the Ogre. Does everything sound good? Check in with this fellow real quick.
Greetings! Thanks for your business, good sir. Go on, buy something.
Weird. Sounds like a pirate. May as well spend what I have.
Until next time, good sir. What do the Ashina Samurai want right now? Please tell me when you find out.
Stockpile on those while I have the time.
I don't feel safe with that big bastard just tied up next to us. I'd rather not be gravely injured just before the war begins.
If the worst happens, only choice is to use fire. Those red eyes fear fire. That's what the Lord's proclamation says.
Proclamations? What a joke. Ashina sure has a funny way of preparing for war.
Yeah, so these guys are understandably afraid of the Ogre themselves. So one thing to keep in mind here, those guys can and will attack you during the boss fight. So it's best to get rid of them while you can. That's the Makiri counter. If you can dodge in right when they do a thrust attack, it pretty much kills any really weak enemy. I'm hearing there may be some trouble with the stream. Let's see if we can fix that. Someone can see it. Doom Boss Man says boo. Can you see and hear everything? Not a Chemist 1 says you have the big gay. I basically caught the big gay fighting this guy my first playthrough. I died so many times that people around me started to get sick. So as those guys mentioned, these guys are afraid of fire, so it's pretty effective. And if you happen to have any oil on you, that can make things a bit easier as well. Alright, so they mention here, grab attacks cannot be deflected. You just have to get out of the way. That's the only way. And if you don't... So as you can see, they go real hard on this lesson here with this boss. Whenever you get the chance, just get out of the way. This grabs pretty fast. If you jump backwards, he can't reach you. Alright, this time I'll use a pellet. Oh no! Alright, so if he throws you at the wrong angle, you can fall off. You can use the grappling hook to come back, but it depends on what you hook to. I think I hooked to him, and he was leaning over the edge, so I just fell. Better not to do that if you get the chance.
So, you're awake. Your death is not your fate. Just yet.
Alright. So I've unlocked Dragon Rot. If you die too much, people start to get sick. The only real downside for the most part is you can't move forward with their side quests. So if there's anything special they do besides their base value as an NPC, you want to get this cured whenever you get the chance. That said, the item that cures it heals everybody that has Dragon Rot, so it's okay to wait a little while if you need to wait for other people to get sick, if you expect to die a whole bunch. It's really nice too, they tell you in the Rot Essence who is sick. So this is the Sculptor and the Newcomer. And they explain it here.
What's wrong?
Dragon rot. The stagnation overflows and spreads. A disease that leads eventually to death.
What are you talking about?
You don't need to worry about me. I'm not normal, you see. It's difficult for me to speak now. Ask Emma about the rest.
Have you seen the sculptor lately?
Yes. He's...
All I know is what Dogen told me long ago. That the dragon's heritage can bestow the power of resurrection. However, it is not any ordinary power. Repeated use leads to stagnation, which will eventually reach a point where it overflows. This causes those who do not have the power to become sick. A disease known as dragon rot. He knew much about it, but even so, he was unable to determine a cure. Forgive me.
Is there a way to treat this dragon rot?
I do not know. However, it must be stopped. I am unsure. But the first step is to look through my mentor's research and see if I can discover a way.
Thank you.
Alright, so as she said, there's no known cure at this point.
So, then, that must mean it appears on those who have received the dragon's heritage. Or perhaps it's a symptom. Goodbye.
Alright, nothing we can do at this point but press on. Alright, let's give it another shot. Usually that guy up there hears you. You want to be careful not to overcommit to your combos. Phew. Can't jump up that. That's one thing you have to be careful about when jumping around. You can jump off. And there we go. That's Chained Ogre. And it's really nice. Certain skills you'll get from just beating certain bosses. So you don't have to buy this, they just give it to you for beating the Chained Ogre. Thank you for following Stairfax. So at this point, you're now free to move forward, but I'm going to go back and heal. There's actually another boss slash mini boss just around the corner. He should be optional, I believe, though. Yeah, bosses in this are kind of weird. There is an arena here. If you leave this sort of boxed in area, the ogre will heal. So you have to stay in their sort of semi-arena while you fight them. But you can leave sometimes if you want to. There's not a lot of distinction between mini bosses and real bosses though either. So a lot of them you can really treat like a mini boss. So now we just have to deal with these guys, which if you go over here is really easy. Make sure you suck up their money. You do need to wait a second sometimes when they do the thrust attack. If you do it too early, you might dodge instead of grabbing. You just have to make sure that you connect with them in their attack. So this is a nice mainstay of the From Software games. Locked door. Now we have a gourd seed so we can have one extra heal. There's another boss in this area, and there's a lot of minions. The good thing is, even though the boss will heal if you leave, the enemies won't respawn unless you rest. Stairfax mentions you can use the sugar that makes you extra stealthy and get a sneak attack critical on the ogre when he breaks free. if this guy were to come over here, I could get a stealth attack on him, but he might not get close enough. Another interesting thing, the game does something with people when they're out of camera. So if you move the camera in a certain way, you can put them out and put them back in, and you can see them settle into place. You can watch his knees bend. Yeah, Assassin's Creed is boring, in my opinion. Not that waiting right here is the most riveting either. Now this person up here is annoying. They ring alert so everybody can hear. And that's the boss. You can see he's got 2 death blows. If he turns around, I'll run in and get him. So there's 1 down. So, sort of like Genichiro, looks like 2 hits and then he deflects. That's fast. Oh, you got me. That's fine. Got a revival. So now he's burned. He couldn't recover stamina because he was burned. Do not mess with the general. Don't mess with me. Thought there was supposed to be 1 more guy around here, but I guess not. And you can stealth through a lot of this area with these high bushes and stuff, but as soon as you get spotted and that 1 guy starts banging on the pan, you may as well just give up on stealth. So there's 2 ways out of here. There's this way, and there's actually a sculptor idol over there. You can also go this way. Turn back if you value your life. You can't behead the headless. Our swords and pikes did nothing. So they do a pretty good job in this game of highlighting what you're supposed to do in certain areas. This is a very odd thing going from Dark Souls to something like this, but you see that and you know, this is a ledge I can grab. Simple as that. How's the audio? Is the voice and game levels good? So this is the sugar that was mentioned before that you can use. So these monks are questing for undeath. Gaijine's sugar. Could be. So here you can see activate. They use these things in other games as well. When you cross over certain thresholds, like the back entrance to Blighttown and Dark Souls. When you enter a dark area here, you have Wolf's night vision activate. So it changes how everything looks because he can see in the dark naturally. So that, as you can see, is the headless. It might be a bit hard to tell. He does not have a head. He can't get me up here, as far as I know. But he's a very difficult fight at this point. He's got smoke all around him that slows you down. And his sword not only deals damage through your guard, but it deals terror status effect, and when the meter hits 100%, you just die instantly. It's a lot like the Frenzy from Bloodborne, except even worse. On top of that, he takes very, very little damage. I'd probably have to hit him like 200 times to kill him right now. So I'm not going to fight him. It's really interesting. Things that crawl on all fours, especially if they're small, you can just jump on them and kill them. It's a free death blow. Yeah, literally scared to death. I think the implication is that you lose your faculties and you're pretty much just left for dead. This is the Divine Blessing from Dark Souls. I did actually use this in my first playthrough once or twice. The ancient soil, rocks, and water that pervaded the land are said to have attracted the attention of the gods. They're like, man, those are some good rocks. Ugh, fruity pebbles. The lizards vomit fruity pebbles and you get a critical on them. I need to take a closer look and verify. So here's your Dark Souls shortcut. That was the door that was locked before. Going back that other way is not going to be great. So I'll just go the other way now. I've got a really bad habit of forgetting to rest at these. But not today. I'm actually really close to having a skill point, so I'll go ahead and kill some dudes. Yeah, the way that you instantly kill people does kind of remind me of Assassin's Creed 1, but it's a lot more engaging. Out of all the companies I expected to make a pretty decent stealth action game, I don't think From Software was them. That was a shot in the dark. Especially since they've had a bad track record with backstabs in the past. I guess somebody just saw a playthrough of Demon Souls or Dark Souls and thought, man, backstabs are good. Let's make a game that's just based on that. So this is what I want next. Breath of Life Light. This heals you whenever you do a successful death blow. Especially early on, when you don't have a lot of gourds to heal yourself, this gives you a lot of breathing room. Because you just kill 3 or 4 guys, and if you haven't been hit since the first time, you're fully healed. If I'm not mistaken, this is a pretty cool area. And you don't take fall damage if you use your grappling hook, even if you fall a really far distance. I think we're about to have a run-in with a local deity. Yeah, I've already had to do that like twice. And you can just mash the grappling hook, which is really nice. Well, sounds like the local deity's here. Nope. Big snack. Hurry. Jump. And if you're crouching in bushes, nobody can see you. Do not. Stop. Go, go, go. Yeah. Not sure if it'll make much difference, but I'll use a pellet. Nothing here. I just ran through this area the first time. I'm safe in here. And then a big red dot shows up. So what do you guys think of the giant snake? I have it on good authority that giant snakes are pretty cool.
My poor, poor horse. All it took was a bit of gunpowder. He startled, and now he's dead.
Let's put this guy out of his misery. I'm sorry. No. Just trying to jank the game out. If you can ever get behind, there's nothing they can do against you. Don't see me. I wonder why this guy's sad. Maybe his first time too. Nobody here. I don't want to hear the conversation.
Look, a smoke signal from the Great Castle Gate. Is it Lord Gyobu? Yes, that's definitely Gyobu the demon. Ashina is safe so long as that man guards her doors.
Those other guys are tougher, but this guy's an archer, so he dies first. If I can, it'd be nice to get some more money so I could buy the Robert's firecrackers. Since Gyobu the demon is a mounted boss, I think you might have to do that. You can buy them over there, but he's gonna attack me over here. So I'll just use my free respawn. Dilapidated temple. Let me check and make sure. Oh yeah, I've got a bunch of Litecoin purses. I I should visit Hanbei the Undying soon. He's volunteering his warm body. You okay, bud?
Sir.
So, you've caught it as well.
Well. What'll it be?
I think I need to talk to Emma again. I believe she asked you to get a sample from whoever's sick. I forgot to do that. Forgot to talk to her some more. You ballsy chicken. Nothing here.
Until the end.
So that's the end of their little character arc. I don't think there's any way to make it any better for them. These guys are oblivious. Broke his guard with a shuriken. It's weird, those guys like to deflect and then not follow up, which really doesn't help them. Nobody here. Whoops. Something else. These guys are a bit slow, physically and mentally. There we go.
Care to purchase an offering?
So I only need 500.
May the
We're actually really close.
care to May the
We'll just use the Litecoin purse. It's really nice. If you use the Litecoin purse, you get 100, and if you sell it, you get 100. If you purchase it, you usually pay 110. So you're paying a surcharge, but it's not too bad.
care to purchase an offering?
I like the story with little Robert and his father.
Don't use that thing around here. You'll scare the crows. They're very intelligent. Leaps and bounds smarter than other animals. Cruelty won't be tolerated.
Okay. What a weird guy. Now I'll get it fixed in my hand. I actually beat Gyobu the Demon the first time I fought him in my first playthrough, so hopefully it's the same case here. Here we go.
What are you doing?
Oh, I didn't realize you were here. The sculptor has been coughing blood. I took a sample of this blood for my dragon rot research.
A sample of his blood.
Yes, blood that he's coughed up. The color of the blood itself appears to be tainted, stagnant, but the sculptor's blood alone isn't enough to reach any conclusions.
Is there anything I can do?
Yes, bring me samples of blood coughed up by others. If I have more, I'll be able to learn more about the disease.
If I come across anyone afflicted by the dragon rot, I'll ask them.
Thank you.
Kind of reminds me of Bloodborne when Yasefka asks you to send people to her, even though this isn't actually going to impact anybody in a bad way.
Goodbye.
You're here too. It's so busy here today.
Shinobi Firecracker. So this actually blinds people and immobilizes them, which is really good. They tell you to use it against beasts because it will not only stun them, but it will do a lot of posture damage to them as well.
Sculptor.
I don't need your concern. I'm not normal, you see. No mere dragon rot will kill me.
Yeah, hearing people cough just makes me feel like I need to cough. While we're at it, I'll talk to Hanbei.
Never seen you before. Your name? Won't tell me. But you do have the look of a skilled shinobi. A shinobi. Or perhaps... Sir, please heed my humble request. Face me in battle.
He's fine, don't worry.
Damn. Still alive.
That looked like it hurt, dude.
That swordsmanship. It was a thing to behold. Few have managed to kill me in such a thorough manner. What are you? Some call it undying. Others,
infested. I can't die, so I just am. How about you? What brings you to a rundown temple like this? Seems you have a lot on your mind. Say, why
Give him
don't
the
you
dot,
use me
dot,
for
dot
some sword
treatment.
practice? Might come in handy for whatever your mission is. A warm body that can't die might prove useful to you. I volunteer mine.
Yeah, he sounds a little sultry.
Very well.
Right then. Let's go. They say swinging one sword is a cure for boredom.
So you start out with these, but he does actually have some advanced tutorials for you as well.
In that case, yeah. Face me again. Excellent. I expected no less of you. In that case, face me again. Yeah. Satisfying match. In that case,
So yeah, the step dodge is really good for advancing attacks like that. It's also really good. You can get 2 or 3 hits in a lot of the time, but it's good to do a stab instead.
excellent. I expected no less of you. About our training. Come at me with the no better way to prepare. What's wrong?
Why do you go to such lengths?
Half to pass the time, and the other half, I want to loosen that furrowed brow of yours. All right. In that case,
It's really nice. Another thing to keep in mind, the Makiri counter, it's for all thrust attacks. So obviously spears, pretty common. Thrust attacks with swords. Certain kicks are thrust attacks. So you can use this on all of them.
face me again.
You have to be careful not to be moving in a direction and just dodge instead. And if you move backwards, you can actually get hit, which is bad. So you want to just stand still or forward.
Yes. Splendidly done. Now,
Yes.
get. Expected no less of you.
So here, you've got the more advanced tutorials. It's pretty interesting. They don't show these to you until you do the other tutorials. But it makes sense because if you're the person to do the tutorials, you'll see them. If you're not that kind of person, you won't know that they're even there.
In that case...
You have to deflect thrust attacks if you don't have the Mercury counter, so it's just a little bit trickier. But not too bad.
Yeah.
Oftentimes enemies will change up the timing though. They'll hold it for a second and then stab you. Sweep attacks are the worst though.
In that case...
Can't be guarded or deflected. They have to be jumped over. And you can kick them. It's a really cool death blow too.
Yeah. Face me again.
The problem is, if it's anything besides a sweep, then doing this is not the right thing to do.
A satisfying match. Have you noticed this temple attract? I certainly fit. And I suppose that's why interesting things make their way into the offering box from time to time. Come back if you have technique.
So I think this is normally if NPCs died, their stuff will show up here. But you might still have to buy it. Yeah, changes in elevation are just always a problem. Same with like backstabbing in every FromSoft game. That was one problem I had with the chained ogre the first time as well. I would try and jump over his grab, and if I'm on the stairs, that might not be the right thing to do. See if I can get what's his name's blood. Sorry, little hiccup.
Well, what'll it be?
I'm taking a blood sample. Now to bring this to Lady M.
Don't do that. Actually, I could have just used the thing. Let's find out.
I'm glad you've come, Master Wolf.
I've obtained one.
A blood sample. Let me see. The coloration is very similar to the sculptor's. The color is just slightly, but what's...
Do you have enough blood?
I believe... Allow me to continue when we speak again. In fact, goodbye.
Takes her like 30 seconds to investigate.
waiting for.
Any progress?
Yes, I've found some answers. The source of the dragon rot is the stagnation in your blood.
What causes the stagnation?
The blood has only a limited amount of power available to it. Let's say you've used.
I wonder if
all
it
of
was
this
stagnation
power,
in
and
the
then
Japanese
you
as
attempt
well.
to resurrect again. The resurrection still occurs, but it must draw on power from another source.
From those that have the dragon rot?
I believe so. For those who have the dragon rot, the natural life force that everyone has, that allows them to live their lives and function as human beings.
So I used up all
has
of mine
been
and
taken
suck it out of
from
people
them.
near me.
Their blood has stagnated.
Can it be cured?
Yes.
It'd be nice if it affected
By
enemies
giving
instead.
back what has been taken. Here you are.
Dragon's blood droplet. You actually need the charmed in order to do it. You can also use the blood, but I think it just restores resurrective power. It must cease.
I'm glad. I still don't understand. It appears as though your body is no longer confined by the rules of our world.
I'm a
Come
hacker.
and see me if you notice anything alarming.
I will.
I'll tell you about all the strange things happening to my body. I think I'll go ahead and use it. I should be dying a lot less in this playthrough. Fingers crossed. So I need just a little bit more for Shinobi's Karma body. Ultimate stealth. Nobody even knows. Yeah, there's no such thing as strangers in the chat. If people are here, they're friends and family, even if they are strangers. Where was I going? Oh, right, I didn't find another idol. Yeah, I already did the Hirata estate. You should be able to watch the video of part 1 if you want to see it. And this one, the first part of this playthrough I just did to Twitch. And Twitch has a backup of the videos. I don't think I can save it because it's too big, probably. But this one I'm recording at the same time, so as long as my computer doesn't run out of space, I should be able to have a copy, put it on YouTube or something. Here it is. Just jumped right over it last time. This guy's still sad about his horse. Just investigating the walls.
My name is Kyobu Masataka Oniwa! As I
This guy's pretty cool. not where you want to be. It's not where I want to be. Chill out. It's a good thing it doesn't come this sweet. Is it hard? Some posture. Whenever he turns, you can grab onto the grapple. Well, at least the horse is okay, right? And it's gone. Oh, sorry, was the game sound too loud? It's really hard to balance. So the horse survived the fight, but I guess Thanos just snapped at the same time, and they got unlucky. Gyobu Masataka Oniwa. Nice. So now I've unlocked the ability to upgrade the prosthetic tools. Go ahead and rest at this sculptor's idol. Yeah, I think the volume kicks up whenever there's stuff happening, which kind of makes sense, but at the same time, it seems like it gets a little bit too loud. I just have to figure out what the good balance is, and also my distance from the microphone. So this could be a good stopping place. Do you guys want to see some Kingsfield or something? I could also still play some more Sekiro. Turned it down one notch. Alright, I might see if I can set up Kingsfield then. I need to set it up on my stream so that I can have a backup image or something. So bear with me. I'll upload my hand-painted sun and moon logo for my video player banner. Alright, hopefully that'll be up in just a couple minutes.